to the red, to the brown, to the yellow, to the white, to the black, to the Republicans, to the Democrats, to the saints, to the sinners, to the losers, to the winners, to the strong, to the weak, to the bold, to the meek, to the haters, to the naysayers, to the living, to the late, to the unsung, to the great, to the seers, to the Moors, to the rich, to the poor. Salutations, brothers and sisters. I am Orapotist Maximus, orator, poet, and activist. First, giving honor to God, it is my custom to open up with a word of prayer. I hope you don't mind, or think it inappropriate, or consider it robbery that I do so. In the Holy Bible, the book of Malachi, the book asks the question, will a man rob God? Will a man rob God? Yet we rob him every time we exclude him from our affairs. We rob him every time we're so quick to receive the praises of men rather than deflecting, redirecting the praise, the glory, the honor, the worship to him alone, which praise, glory, honor, and worship is due. Prayer. O Almighty God, creator of the heavens and the earth, have pity upon thy people. Extend thy hand, thy benevolent and merciful hand to these thy children. Help the hurting, the feeble, of the likes of which there is no equal, who in your infinite wisdom will become a chosen people. Yes, a stone, a tried stone, a precious cornerstone, the stone that the builders rejected. For you are not a God who cannot be touched by the feelings of our infirmities. Like David of old, I pray, hear my cry, O God of my righteousness. Help the discarded, the brokenhearted, the downtrodden, and all those seemingly forgotten. And now I pray for my people, my brothers and sisters, the black man and the black woman, caught up in the hills and hells of North America. Pray that you would restore us to our original in proper place of greatness, grand, and glory amongst people of the earth. Pray now that you would confuse and confound the wisdom of this wicked world. Make the rough places plain and the crooked places straight, so that your glory will be revealed and all flesh shall sit together. This, O Lord, is our hope. This, O Lord, is our petition. This, O Lord, is our prayer. In the name of the Most High God, the Beneficent, the Merciful, and in the name of all the strong black freedom fighters, I come to today as a modern day black nationalist, poet, freedom fighter, fighting for the freedom, the justice, the equality of our people. Yes, I'm here today, but not as some prophet, no sage, no rabbi, no priest, but a poet, a voice, articulating the hurt and the pain of the suffering masses of our people who are not moving forward. A poet, but not just any poet, but one who would rise to the call of service, the beckoning of a generation. Yes, I'm here today as a servant of an awesome God and a servant of an awesome people. The God who was our God before we were brought here to the hills and hells of North America, the one of whom it was prophesied in the book of Exodus, to coming to deliver his people, if indeed we represent the people and the prophetic fulfillment of Scripture, who would be in bondage for over 400 years, whom afterwards God would come to deliver. Yet brought here to America on the belly of slave ships, ships filled with dung and disease, they packed us in like sardines, traded us for mere sugar cane and coffee beans, that despised and rejected. Our people, robbed of our names, robbed of our language, robbed of our history, robbed of our culture, our folkways, our mores, our religion. Look at us. We have adopted the religion of our slave masters, and the proof of that we have bowed down to worship the image of a lily white Jesus, even up until today, Yet the scriptures clearly say of this Jesus that his skin would be like fine bread burnt in an oven, whose head and hair would be like lamb's wool. Not some imposter pale-faced, blue-eyed, stringy, blonde hair, pasteurized, homogenized white Jesus of Hollywood. So listen up, all you listeners. Today I've come to take no prisoners. I come in the spirit of that strong black Muslim minister, Malcolm X, El Hajj Malik, El Shabbat. Not some foot-shuffling, boot-licking, pacifist preaching, turn a non-violent cheek, modern-day Uncle Tom, escapist preacher with some pie in the sky and somewhere in the sweet, by and by lullaby preachers, rocking our people to sleep. So I write this poetry to wake us up. Once again, salutations, brothers and sisters. I am Orapotist Maximus, Orapotist and activist. I am the chief spokesperson and founder of Jonah, the Judge of Nation Advocacy Headquarters. I didn't come out here to hear myself pontificate. I came out here to encourage, inspire, perhaps even motivate. I'm not an entertainer. So you see, I didn't come out here for the applause, the cheers. I didn't come out here to play or tickle your ears. For you see, the stakes are too high. The situation too dire. Our people are suffering this very hour. So I've come to speak truth to power. Oh, I pray that I may speak with the eloquence of Dr. King, speak with the militancy of a Malcolm, to speak with the courage of a Sojourner, to speak with the ferocity of Nat Turner. And now I draw strength from the moment, from Langston Hughes, from Paul Laurence Dunbar, from Dr. Mangelo, and all my former fellow poets. And to my enemies, I want to say thank you. I want to say thank you personally for coming on out and taking this butt whooping personally. But in the words of James Baldwin, America, white America, I'm not your Negro. I don't scratch where I don't itch. I don't dance if I don't like the music. I march to the beat of a different drum. I'm self-determined, self-actuated, self-motivated. I don't fit your stereotype. I don't smoke. I don't drink. I don't use drugs. I have absolutely no need to smoke the weed. I'm a Superman. I have testicular fortitude. I don't budge. I don't bend. I don't chase women and I don't chase men. I'm not a gangbanger. But I do have gangster-like proclivities. I've learned not to shoot from the hip, but as a poet I've learned to shoot from the lip. I want to talk to you today for just a moment on an idea that I call the Jonah Project. Obviously, Jonah is a reference to the biblical prophet Jonah and the book named after him, found in the Old Testament scriptures of the Holy Bible. America, white America, unfortunately for you, contrary to popular belief, Jonah is not a fictitious account. Jonah is not some fairy tale or some fable or mere fabrication of man's imagination. Jonah is a real account of a real fish, of a real prophet, of a real God, of a real nation, like America that finds herself in real trouble. This book, Jonah, is a test. It is an example. It is a warning to all would-be nations that would find themselves in the crosshairs of the judgment of God. Having said that, I want to quote just a few verses from the book of Jonah, just enough to give you an overview. Now the word of the Lord came unto Jonah, saying, Arise, go unto Nineveh, that great city, and cry against it, for its wickedness has come up before me. But Jonah rose to flee to Tarshish from the presence of the Lord. And the Lord prepared a great wind in the sea, and there was a mighty tempest in the sea, such that the ship was broken. And the Lord prepared a great fish to swallow up Jonah, and Jonah was in the belly of the fish 3 days and 3 nights. And the word of the Lord came unto Jonah a second time, saying, Arise, go unto Nineveh, that great city, and preach unto it the preaching that I bid thee. And Jonah arose and went to Nineveh, and the people of Nineveh believed God, and proclaimed, Who can tell if God will not turn from his fierce anger, that we perish not? And the Lord saw that they had turned from their evil ways, and the Lord repented of the evil that he said he would do unto them, and he did it not. The Jonah Project of the Jonah Movement is a test and testament to the current state of the hearts and minds of white America. Its simple objective is to give white America the opportunity to be on the right side of history, to reconcile the present with the past, to reconcile the hard history of African American chattel slavery in this country and its present day ramifications and repercussions on black life. Also, to focus on the plight and disintegration, but more likely the disintegration of the Native Americans, the indigenous people of this continent. In short, my goal, my mission, is to build a coalition of all people, black, brown, red, yellow, and white, striving for the survival of diverse groups. As a moral leader, it's my job to advocate, bring awareness to what I feel be God's judgment on America and what she must do to be saved, if indeed she can be saved at all. America, white America, you owe a debt, a karmic debt. And now it's time for you to pay the piper. America, white America, you have failed us. All of your institutions have been poisoned and contaminated by racism. The political system, the justice system, the educational system, the religious system. Yes, even the religious system. And what we're facing is the fruit and failure of American society, the ugly and terrible condition that we find our people in is a direct result of the legacy of institutional racism in America. Again, what we're facing is the fruit and failure of American society. I am a lot of things, but I am not naive. I am a student of history. I possess a knowledge that the white man in America has been nothing but a tormentor in the grand scheme of race relations in America as we know it. Let's look at it. Slavery, civil war, segregation, subjugation, discrimination, police brutality, massive incarceration, gentrification. Let's look at it. America, white America, you have a history of being kidnappers, rapists, racists, robbers, liars, lynchers, intimidators, and murderers. I can go on down the list. You fit the description of a true terrorist, but you're nothing but a band of punks, a band of bums, cowards, hiding behind masks, riding horses, brandishing rifles, and carrying torches. You're no good peckerwood, redneck, pot belly, gun toting, tobacco chewing, and smoking, carrying rifles in your laps. You look stupid with those pointed dunce caps. Rebel rousers, burning down poor black people's houses, seething haters, masqueraders, mischief makers, no good bastards, fiendish laughers, backslashers, white crackers, Johnny come lately, overall wearing Neanderthal. In spite of the passing of time, you continue to commit your heinous crime. You try to instill our hearts with fear, the militarization of America, the infamous riot gear. And now you unleash upon black folks your modern day weapons, your bag of tricks, police sticks, police dogs, guns with lasers, wands, batons, pepper spray, high voltage electrical tasers. You're the same people, you just go by different names and killing black folk It's still fair game. But what did we ever do to whites? What did we ever do to whites except to be black as the darkest night? Now we're experiencing one of the greatest displacement of black folk this nation has ever seen. And still white America won't come clean. And when we talk of reparations, they say, go figure. I don't owe nothing to some darn nigger. So that begs the question, can the devil be reformed? Can America be reformed? The Jonah Project or the Jonah Movement seeks to put this issue to rest once and for all. Are white people in America, like the wicked city of Nineveh, deserving a final opportunity to make right the wrongs of past generation? As a moral leader, I think it only right and proper that every so-called new generation should be afforded a small window of opportunity to make right the wrongs of past generation. America, white America, I'm not your judge. The God that I serve chastises even his own children, saying that if we want to be recipients of mercy, that we must extend mercy, suggesting that God is not only a God of wrath, but is a God of mercy, capable of extending mercy even to the hearts of depraved souls, such as evident in the biblical story of Jonah, the wicked city of Nineveh, hence the Jonah Project. I prayed and I asked God, can there be reconciliation? Can there be a reconciliation of the races in America? And he answered me as if through a whirlwind. He said, can you reconcile love and hate? Can you reconcile the forgotten with the great? Can you reconcile war and peace? Can you reconcile the Western world with the Middle East? Can you reconcile joy and pain? Can you reconcile sunshine and rain? Can you reconcile the molehill and the mountain? Can you reconcile the Malcolm with the Martin? Can you reconcile the prostitute named Mary Magdalene with virtuous women like Martha and Martha? Can you reconcile hell with the cross of Golgotha? When the Son of Man shall come in his glory, and all the holy angels with him, then he will sit upon the throne of his glory, and all of the nations of the earth will be gathered before him. And the king shall say to those on his right, come, ye blessed of my Father, inherit the kingdom which was prepared for thee before the foundation of the world. For when I was hungry, you gave me meat. When I was thirsty, you gave me drink. When I was a stranger, you took me in. Naked, you clothed me. Sick and in prison, you came unto me. And the righteous shall say unto the king, Lord, but when saw we thee hungry, and fed thee, thirsty, and gave thee drink? Naked, and clothed you, sick and in prison, and ministered unto you. And the king shall say unto them, verily I say unto thee, inasmuch as you've done it to one of the least of these, my brethren, you've done it unto me. And the king shall turn to those on his left, saying, depart from me, ye cursed, into everlasting fire, prepared for the devil and his angels. For when I was hungry, you gave me no meat. When I was thirsty, you gave me no drink. When I was a stranger, you didn't take me in. Naked, you didn't clothe me. Sick and in prison, you didn't come unto me. And they shall also say to the king, Lord, but when saw we thee hungry, thirsty, naked, a stranger, sick and in prison, and didn't minister unto thee? And the king shall say unto them, verily, verily, I say unto thee, inasmuch as you've done it not to one of the least of these, my brethren, you've done it not to me. Though I speak with the tongues of men and of angels, and have not love, I become a sounding brass or a tinkling cymbal. And though I have the gift of prophecy and understand all mysteries and all knowledge, though I have all faith so as I can move mountains and have not love, I'm nothing. Though I bestow all my goods to feed the poor, and though I give my body to be burnt and have not love, it profiteth me nothing. For you see, love is patient, love is kind, does not brag or boast, is not arrogant, seeketh not her own. Love rejoices not in iniquity, but rejoices in the truth. Love bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things, endures all things. Love never fails, but though there be prophecy, they shall fail. Though there be tongues, they shall cease. Though there be tongues, they will all vanish away. For now we know in part, and we prophesy in part. But when that which is perfect is come, that which is in part will be done away. For when I was a child, I spake as a child, I understood as a child, I thought as a child. But when I became a man, I put away childish things. But now we see through a glass darkly, but then face to face. And then shall I know, even as also I am known. Now abideth faith, hope, and love, but the greatest of these is love. So I conclude, America, white America, you're in the judgment of God. As it was in the days of Noah, as it was in the days of Sodom and Gomorrah, as it was in the days of Jonah, the ark. The ark has been shut, and now the rain is falling. Judgment has come, no longer stalling. The earth is flooding. The floodgates of the deep have opened its mouth, and now there's simply no way out. The night has come, no more mirth. As darkness comes and encompasses the earth, the angels of judgment await. Wretched men standing at the door, having been blinded, looking, searching for salvation, but they cannot find it. Unfinished urban project, steel girders swaying in the wind, because for the descendants of slaves you made no provision. America, the greatest military the world has ever seen, her armies, her navies, her air force, her marines, and now all of her military might is defenseless against this death angel. And now from a thin thread you now dangle, as it was in the days of Noah, as it was in the days of Sodom and Gomorrah, as it was in the days of Jonah, the ark. The ark has been shut, and now the rain is falling. Judgment has come, no longer stalling. The earth is flooding. The floodgates of the deep have opened its mouth, and now there's simply no way out. The night has come, no more mirth, as darkness comes and encompasses the earth. I've done a lot of soul searching. I've done a lot of thinking. I've come to the conclusion that we as a people, we just got to continue to press forward. Continue to press forward. But what do I know? I'm just a poet.